What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some more news. The man's on fire! Joyce, get this. Joyce on Dillian Whyte saying that he believes he could KO him. He said, let's go. Let's have it. I'll fight him. I'd be a car crash. Dillian Whyte on Joyce. Joyce is a good fighter. He's a strong guy. He takes a lot of punches. Some of these guys with great chins, one night just comes, boom, and it's gone. I believe I carry the power to knock out anyone on this planet. I've just got to land the punch, says Dillian Whyte. Let me counterpunch. Listen, this is exactly what happens when you see a classic knockout like Joyce. You got everybody coming. You got everybody talking. You got everybody running their mouths. You know, the buzz is around Joyce because Joyce is a guy that's too legit to quit. You've seen him take punches, and it seems like the harder Parker hit him, the harder Parker got hit back. You know, that is like almost like a superpower. I'm the juggernaut, right? Now, what do I feel about Dillian Whyte fighting Joyce? I think it will be a very good fight as long as it lasts. I know Dillian Whyte's punch resistance, especially for the uppercut, it's not good. If he gets caught with any of those shots, he's out. Because I don't think Tyson Fury hit Dillian Whyte that fucking hard to put him out. Because, I mean, after all, he did get up. So it wasn't as hard as the Povetkin or the Joshua knockout, okay? Because he did get up. He complained he was fouled. But he was dropped. But he was up on his feet. He wasn't out cold like he was in the first two knockouts. But the question is, could Joyce do that? And the question is, yes, he could. But then again, ask yourself who hits harder, Dillian Whyte or Joseph Parker? Dillian Whyte, if he cracks with that left hand, could he hurt Joyce? And what Dillian Whyte said, though, is really the truth, though. You have to really pay attention to what he was saying. Yeah, you're strong as shit one night, and you're taking punches left and right. Bars, but one day you will get hit and you will get tested, and eventually people, Joyce keeps fighting people, and he keeps raising that level, and he gets in there with a guy that can crack, and he gets cracked. That may crack that armor. It just might. Now, will it that night? I don't know. But what Dillian Whyte said, though, was true. See, I look at fights all the time when people supposed to be just these dynamic chinned guys, and they have these chiseled chins, and nobody could seem to stop them until that night it happens. I'll give you two examples, throwbacks. One, Marco Antonio Barrera. Marco Antonio Barrera ran in there with Junior Jones. Junior Jones knocked him out. Why? Because Marco Antonio Barrera believed that he was invincible. He thought that his chin was going to prevail. And what happened, that's what happens when you start wearing your chin on your sleeve. It's going to get checked eventually, and it got checked. And he got knocked out. He went back, he fought Junior Jones again. He still lost the decision. He didn't get knocked out, but he lost the decision. That was that night. Second night, Oleg Maskayev. He was known to be this chiseled chin, Superman chin formed cat. He just looked like Canelo Alvarez. It's just like this Superman-like square chin. And everybody thought, dude, you can't knock this guy out. And what happened? Kirk Johnson knocked him out cold. And Kirk Johnson wasn't even known to be a power puncher. But this is the heavyweight division, and that's what happened. Marco Antonio Barrera and Junior Jones are not heavyweights by far. But I'm just showing you and giving you guys an example of how that could happen on one night. So what Dillian Whyte did say was right. Bars. So I think at the end of the day, Joyce versus Dillian Whyte, I think is a great fight. It would be an absolute war, but it would also be another test for Joyce's chin, because Dillian Whyte is trying, and he will be willing to get it in. Bars. So you already know that Dillian Whyte is not the fastest fighter, but he's faster than Joyce. So if that fight did happen, that would be a fight that I would love to see, because it would be a fight of intriguement. Okay, we would see a busy fighter get chinned. Give you one last example of a heavyweight that thought they could not get knocked out, and he recently got knocked out twice. Adam Kalnacki. That's right. Adam Kalnacki was a busy, pudgy, a garbage man looking ass fighter that could whoop your ass, and he did a lot of it until he got caught. Who did he get caught by? Hellenius. Hellenius caught him, and all of a sudden, he was out. He didn't even know that he was hurting. He was around there fumbling around, right? Until he got knocked out eventually, and they had to stop it because, you know, Hellenius was putting a whooping on him. You know, those type of things happen. But again, that's another example when a fighter wears their chin or chin on their shoulder. Right. So I think it will be a good fight. But one thing I love about Joyce is like, he ain't just shit talking. He's like, sign the contract. Let's go. He's not bullshitting with these fighters. And I know and I understand he doesn't have time to. That man is older than Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Joseph Parker, which he knocked out. He's older than Dillian Whyte, which is 34, the same age as Tyson Fury. So he's 3 years older than these guys. He's older than Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder 36. So he's older than these guys. He doesn't have time to mess around. So he's ready to get down. He's ready to get those fights in because he knows he may be coming to an end. However, he may not be. But I think it's a sense of urgency to fight at a certain level. So he needs to get these fights right now. He doesn't need to wait around. He doesn't have 2 or 3 years, because in 2 or 3 years, he'll be 40 years old. So I know Joyce's mentality is something that I really like, because he knows it's a sense of desperation in there of getting these and making these fights happen. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Dillian Whyte, called out again by Joe, the Juggernaut Joyce. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.